Yeah. lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me, die. I'm dreaming of you. I dream of a new life. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Cross close and could light this fire. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
Hello and welcome to week 2 here at Seasonal Shootout. My name is Delta, joined by Junior P Cubed. Hello.
Hello. We're here doing the pre-show here for these Dominus and Merc tier matchups, our tier 2 and tier 3 matchups that we will have on stream today, starting in just a few minutes. Delta, you want to give us a rundown on what's going on, the schedule we got today, and, well, what to look out for?
We have 4 great matches today, 2 from each conference, or 2 each tier. As we started out, No Sympathy and Team Ascend, the Galaxy and Reckless Storm. As you may note, there's a name that's unfamiliar here. Rusty Tears Gray. We did have a few teams in Tier 2, unfortunately have dropped out of the league. We have had prime replacement teams. The Musketeers, Gray, White, and Black are now part of Seasonal Shootout in our Dominus tier. They will be inheriting the 0-2 records from those spots, so they will be starting off 0-2, but they are now in the league for the rest of this season. And hopefully we should be looking to get them on for a great start here with one of them playing one of our returning teams, ACU. But let's start things off where our stream's going to begin over in the Merc tier. So right now we're going to be starting off Team Ascend currently sitting atop the leaderboard at 2-0, facing off against a 1-1 No Sympathy team that is still looking like another strong team.
Yeah, in preparing and doing notes, I mean, the only loss that No Sympathy has is to 3 Ferrets, who seems to also be winning out across the Merc tier. EV Galaxy also struggling in that regard. They're playing our second matchup. But this one should be a good one if we're looking at MMR specifically. No Sympathy should be right around that 1,500 average MMR, while I believe Ascend is around the 1,600 MMR level. So while it is tier 3, it is still going to be a relatively close matchup. These teams locked, with the only difference really being that No Sympathy has a loss and, well, Ascend doesn't.
And Ascend also has a big one of the returning teams coming off of a strong season last season, being that second seed going into the playoffs, finishing in 3rd place. Well, if we look at our second match, we do have Reckless Storm there, currently 1-0. Because we only have 9 teams, we do have, each team will have 2 round buys throughout the season, so 2 weeks where they'll only be playing 1 match. And Reckless Storm did have that in week 1, so they only played 1 match. So technically they are a bit lower in the standings at 1-0, but they also, that 1 match we saw them play against Incline was a sweep. So this is a team that it's like extremely strong. And EV Galaxy, even though they're 0-2, those 2 losses are 2 strong teams. Their 2 losses have come to 3 Ferrets and to Team Ascend, 2 teams that are both 2-0. So this is a team on front. They could be, unfortunately, looking at potentially an 0-3 start if they lose this, but it could be an 0-3 start against 3 teams that could potentially be looking at a combined 6-0 or 7-0 record at that point. So it's they're facing off against tough teams. They do have one more match against their team later this off stream that might be a bit easier going up against Incline, another team who has not gone to the best start. I believe they've also started 0-2, but I mean, it's still early, and even though we're looking at the standings, it is still plenty of time for things to change.
Yeah, absolutely. A team like Reckless Storm might only be 1-0, but they're certainly well rested. They got a sweep versus Incline. They're looking to take that against EV Galaxy, who, like you said, has had a rather unsuccessful start here to this season. But like you pointed out, Three Ferrets and Team Ascend, both those teams incredibly strong, incredibly potent. And the losses, well, just needed to they needed to go through. EV Galaxy, I figure, will fight back. We know they're a strong team. They're right around that 1500 MMR moment. Reckless does have the stronger MMR advantage here in this series, but I think EV Galaxy is looking to make a statement. They're under a new organization that's just been founded. They're looking to make a name for themselves, and I'm sure that they're not going to go down without a fight.
And these are also two veteran teams. I mean, I said Reckless Storm, these are our reigning champs. EV Galaxy, while they did last season under, I believe, Timeless Thunder, if I'm correct, they did participate. They unfortunately were not able to make the playoffs. So maybe Timeless, I'm just waiting to see if producer can give correction on that. Timeless Energy, there it goes. They were Timeless Energy before, so new org. But these players have familiarity. They're looking to try, bounce back from a rough season 5 where they, failed to make the playoffs. And this is two teams that both, they know each other. These players know each other, and it's going to be leading some great action.
Yeah, some huge storylines, specifically if these teams have, known each other beforehand. It's going to create some interesting gameplay. It's always harder playing against people you know, or people you practice against, or people you even play with. Because then you start to know their strategies, but nope, they start to know your strategies, and now it's just one big mumbo jumbo of trying to outstrat the opponent while really not being able to find any ground. So control of this series, I think it's going to be a banger of a series down in our Merc tier. EV Galaxy looking to make a statement, looking to find their first win, and Reckless trying to prove why they deserve to be a little bit higher up on the leaderboards, considering that they've only had one game played. They're looking to stay undefeated.
Sure, but we also have those matches up in the Dominus tier, in our mid-tier, and two great matches there. Starting off, ACU Esports, another return team that just barely missed out on the playoffs last season, bringing back three same players, I believe, in Prime, Bear, and Wall, going against that new team, Musketeers Gray.
Yeah, ACU starting off 1-0. Musketeer Gray, they've kind of had a bit of a rough start. Both of their losses, because they're 0-2, are the forfeits from how they joined the league. They had to join with the same record as the team that has left. But this one should be interesting, specifically because of the MMR disparity between these two teams. Wall is rocking a 1901 MMR peak, and Cake is rocking an 1897 peak MMR. But Wall's team's average is 1730, and Musketeers Gray average and with Cake is 1712. So Wall and Cake are both those carry players, slightly outclassing the rest of their teammates. It's really going to be a matter of who shows up first, who dominates, because we know these teams, we know that these players are very skilled. It's really going to come down to consistency, making the hits that they need, and really coming out on top with Musketeer Gray either going 1-2 or 0-3, while ACU again looking to stay undefeated, looking for that 2-0 scoreline with a strong start here in Season 6.
And ACU, this is another thing with Wall we're talking about. This is a player who, at least when we've seen him, he tends to live up to his name. He comes up with the strikes. This is a guy that's extremely mechanical, especially able to turn that into some great defensive plays, and definitely a great matchup. But we still have one last matchup for today, that's another great one. Cerberus taking on Reckless Void. Cerberus, a team that still waiting on their first match of the season, actually, here, as they wound up winning both of their matches last week by forfeit. So, a hungry team that's coming off of a strong offseason where they wound up, I believe, finishing third place in that first tournament we did in collaboration with Frontline.
Yeah, both these teams, specifically Cerberus, looking for their first matchup. Reckless Void with, their only win, I believe, coming from that forfeit against Musketeer Black. So these records are slightly skewed. Cerberus is technically 0-0, and Reckless Void, without that forfeit to Musketeers Black, is 0-1. So it's really their first start here. I mean, Reckless Void, they did lose their first game, but for Cerberus, I mean, you haven't really played yet. You haven't really shown what you have to offer, and that's incredibly apparent. And the fact that the MMR disparity between these two teams is so apparent. An average of 1827 MMR on the Cerberus side compared to the 1562 average MMR of Reckless Void, if I'm reading this spreadsheet right. This should be if I had to make a prediction for this one, I would have to say that Cerberus were going to take it, but Reckless Void, numbers don't mean everything. They certainly have the opportunity to pop off, to take it to the Cerberus team, who really might not know what to expect.
And this is a team that's a veteran team. This is a team that wound up deciding to try to move up into this tier. They were the second place team last season in the old tier 2, which is now that tier 3 level, that Merc level. Second place in the playoffs. This is a team that's been together, and they know each other well. So these are players who have worked together, they have experience together, and a lot of times we've seen where just because you're more say one thing, having that chemistry can be just so massive, can really allow for teams that on paper seem like, oh, they should have no chance to actually be the much better team.
Yeah, I mean, chemistry is everything when it comes down to it, because the Rocket League we see in the solo queue ladder is so different than what we see in these team-based games where these teams are scrimming each other, where they're practicing their chemistry. It almost becomes a completely different ball game. It's just how like a Sunday league soccer game looks completely different to watching a Barcelona-Real Madrid game. Chemistry is so incredibly important. And while maybe the skill of the Barcelona and Real Madrid players is greater, sometimes you can see these Sunday league teams come out with the chemistry and pull out upset victories against the likes of Liverpool. But that's soccer. We're talking about Rocket League. Reckless Void, well, they have a huge MMR disparity. They're down by 300 average MMR. But hopefully that chemistry can come back and help them out. I've seen Platts beat champs on chemistry alone, and hopefully we can see some fireworks now versus Cerberus here. And I believe it's our third match of the day, or fourth match of the day in the Tier 2 Dominus side.
These are all just great matches we have, and that's just what we have on stream. I mean, this is still just week 2 of this 9-week regular season that we are going to be having leading into the playoffs. And if we saw from what we saw last week was any indication, things are going to be exciting in all 3 tiers. We'll talk more about tier 1 tomorrow when we get to that 4-hour stream there over in the Octane. But today it's about these Dominus and Merc players and for what they're playing for. So as a reminder, our prize pools are community funded. So if you want to help increase the amount these players are playing for, we do have links down below to the donation. If everything chip in will be going directly back into these prize pools. So also thank you so much to our wonderful sponsors, to Level Gaming, providing us with the platform we're using to help run this league, and Forge Coaching doing so much to help us, as well as helping provide coaching sessions as prizes for both our Tier 2 and Tier 3 champions. So being able to have these team coaching sessions with some of these really high-level coaches that Forge has on staff, that is something that I'm sure all of these teams would be gunning to get and to really help themselves even further coming off of a potential win here at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Coaching around this champ level is incredibly important. I mean, you see, like, once you get to champion level, once you get to this low GC level, it becomes more and more about consistency and not mechanics alone. Because of that, I mean, champ level coaching, incredibly valuable. I mean, sure, you're looking for that prize pool, that monetary prize pool, but also coaching can help you take that next step forward. Glad to have great sponsors here at the seasonal shootout that are helping provide this prize pool that's a little bit more than something that money can buy.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, that money can buy that I do want to point out is we do have a new Twitch emote here. If you've seen our new official Twitch emote, Y-Bass is here. So if you want to go spread the Y-Bass throughout Twitch, throughout even Discord too, not that Y-Bass, different one, but the Y-Bass we know and love from last week is now our Twitch emote. So if you sub to us on Twitch, once again, the money from that does go back in to help support these prize pools. And also we do have this linked to our Discord server. So that means if you do sub here, you don't need Nitro to use Y-Bass on their servers. It is one of my favorite things is that with Discord, which emotes from channels you subscribe to can be used anywhere, and that means you can use wide bass wherever you want. So if you're looking for that, we do have a link to our Discord server, !Discord. Remember also, !Forge, !Level. Learn more about their sponsors doing down below. But any last things before we head off, Junior? I believe this will be it for you today.
Yeah, we've got ourselves some great Tier 3 matchups, some great Tier 2 matchups. They're all about to kick off right now. Let me find the casting schedule first off so I can remember
first matchup, I believe it is I will be back alongside Tyrant on Fire for that matchup between Team Ascend and No Sympathy. So you'll still get a bit more of me, but that'll be it for you, Junior, today. We will see you again tomorrow over at Overcasting over on our Octane tier matchup, but that will do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning into our pre-show. We hope to be able to keep doing this. It's been a lot of fun, but right now, let's get ready for some great Rocket League action here at Seasonal Shootout. Stay tuned.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but then
All right.
Hello and welcome back for our first match of the day here at Seasonal Shootout. Once again, I am Delta, joined by Titan on Fire.
Howdy. That's me. I am here. And I wasn't totally rushing for like the 5 minutes before this started to get here, but I made it on time. The teams are here on time, especially, which is always, always nice. We don't have to wait for anyone. We can do our little talking and then we can get right into the games.
Sure, and we do have two great teams here. Team Ascend, a returning team currently, I know it's just after 1 week, so things are early, but they are sitting atop of the leaderboard. No Sympathy coming in at 1-1. Both teams, I said, it's early on, with just one game separating them. I mean, things are still, starting to get sorted out. We're starting to figure out who are the top teams, who are the teams that, need to start making some improvements. It's so early. This is only week 2 out of 9.
Yeah, and for a lot of these teams, even if they even if they don't have the best start to their seasons, even if they lost week 1, maybe they even lose week 2, there's still, as you said, there's so much time for changes to happen. There's so many chances for these teams to really get themselves together and to scout out their opponents, to really start to feel everything out. So it's all about how these teams perform week to week, how consistent they can be, how well they're able to change up their play style to match their opponents, how well they're able to make those adaptations and implement them into their play, especially, is going to be very important, because all these players are very good. All these players sitting around GC or up towards 1600, especially on the side of, I think, Team Ascend. These are all players where, even though when you're looking at it, even though it's tier 3, we do want to see all of the basics be there. We want to see everything really run like a well-oiled machine.
For sure, and that's one of the other things we're wondering is, for some of these players, their first stream match. Team Ascend, they were on stream last week, and these are obviously players who have been around on stream before. This is not their first season. But this is a new team to Seasonal Shootout in No Sympathy. This is their first on-stream match of the season, so you always see things can get different when you're, having that attention on you, when you're on stream. And sometimes you'll see these teams that become, sometimes you also see teams that rise to the occasion when that pressure and that focus is on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely think for No Sympathy, that's something they're going to need to do, because if you're just looking straight up at individual players, and if you take into account rank, MMR, they are probably a bit of an underdog here. I think Team Ascend, with how well they played in week 1 and with just how good we know these players are definitely going to be a challenge for No Sympathy. But again, there's always chances for things to happen. There can be upsets. These players can come out, and maybe even if they don't have, the flashiest mechanics and the most incredible play individually, if they work well as a team, that is all that it takes. You don't need to be a powerhouse by yourself. If you can play well with each other, if you can work well within your teammates to get passing plays, to demos just to give yourself those openings, then that can make up a pretty big gap even in MMR.
And we'll see. No Sympathy in blue, Les, Tommy, and Zoopy. Team Sun in the orange, Miracle, Flyer, and plays you. We get underway here in game 1 of this best of 5. And potentially dangerous ball, but the attack just nowhere for Team Ascend. Now Flyer on 0 boost, a bit of a miss from Tommy. Miracle 1 to beat, and Zoopy will be able to get the save. So now Zoopy trying to take this along the side wall, sending it all the way to the backboard. Miracle nicely played, but met there now. Potentially a dangerous ball, bit of a double commit though on the part of Ascend. Still able to get this one away, but now Tommy looking to pass this one across. Zoopy has to go all the way across for it. And now Les trying to force this one through. And open net from that demo. Les strikes first, and no Ascend take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Team Ascend looking a bit rough here at the start of game number 1. We saw a lot of double commits, even some team bumps fitting in there, so they never really had a comfortable challenge. And No Sympathy just worked it around through the corner, made the plays that they needed to again, and they found the shot there. Just an open net. As I said, a team bump means that you had, I believe it was both Mythic or Miracle and Flyer in the corner, and then Vortex or Plays You was also trying to challenge as well. And it just meant that there was no one back. That's a really nice touch though, and the drop down might just find its way in. Flyer, nice little soft touch to put it by the defense, and Team Ascend managed to strike back.
And quickly striking that Miracle knifed up Les, able to get that touch. Zoopy just barely not able to get there. Had to be in the perfect position to save it, but that shot placement on the part of Flyer just too good. We are tied at 1.
Yeah, both teams managing to strike. I do feel like, you know, for Team Ascend, it was a decent play, but the defense wasn't really in position, and it felt like, you know, a bit more. Team Ascend still having a bit more issues, I think is what I'm trying to say. They're still making a few mistakes here. They managed to get that goal back, but it's not as clean as you would like to see, especially as, even though they're getting a lot of pressure here, you know, No Sympathy, they're still managing to get the saves. They're managing to push forward, and, you know, for a team like Team Ascend, who I was going to say who I think should be favored, I would love to see them be a bit more aggressive here. They do get a freebie, though, off this clear.
Just the defense out of position there. We see Les in midfield, and I believe Tommy was up there too. No one, though, in the middle, and just really just a miscommunication there. Defensive error allowing for that goal. And that's the kind of things you gotta wonder, is that the nerves of this first game on stream?
It could be. You know, there's a lot that goes into when you're playing on stream. You know, there is a different atmosphere, and it's really hard to just play the exact same game that you play, you know, day to day, when you know that there are people watching, when you know that this match does have, you know, if you lose, that does actually have some repercussions in the future, because, you know, you play a ranked game, you know, 3v3, maybe you don't win, maybe, you know, you're just like, okay, whatever, you know, we'll just play another one, get it back. But for these matches, you only have 5 of them, and, you know, every single loss counts up, and it's just a very finite amount of mistakes that you can make in a best of series. So there is a certain amount of pressure that comes from that, a certain amount of, you know, of nerves that can get in the way. And I think for Team Ascend, we are kind of seeing that, because you're seeing those double commits. Of course, they've started to cut it out, and then they've started to look better, which is great. But right now, No Sympathy, I think for their first time on stream, is definitely putting up, I think, a very impressive showing right now. Even though they're behind 1, they're looking for the passing plays, and they're really trying to open up these opportunities.
As we see this coming out from Zoopy, will go off the backboard, looking for a follow-up, going for the pass. Tommy just not in the right position there. Les just going to chase this one back and force it into the corner, and quickly trying to transition into offense. Les, just watch this one as Miracle there, gets it past Tommy, but will get taken out by Tommy on that demo play. Flyer sends back to midfield. Popped up by Zoopy, over towards Les to the backboard. Chance to have follow-up, no. Plays You, sorry, is there to clear it out, but Tommy right away sending this right back in. Now Zoopy able to keep that one away, nearly able to get the shot off, and now Plays You, passing over towards Miracle, but met by the defense. Still a dangerous ball. Flyer is up, but can't get the touch as he runs out of boost on that.
Yeah, and it's been a good amount of offense here for Team Ascend, finally really just getting themselves a solidified position on the opposing half. Zupi comes in, finds a nice little save there off the backboard, bails out his teammate who was in a terrible position. And right now, No Sympathy, they're really having to struggle to get these saves back to back. And it's really, I mean, for Team Ascent, they're just winding down the time. They got that lead with 2 minutes left. There's now 45 seconds on this clock. They have managed to kill so much time. They've managed to just waste it away. And at the same time, they've been giving themselves options. They've been giving themselves the ability to find goals if there's any mistake out of No Sympathy. Just playing it really solidly. And for No Sympathy, if they want to, try and tie this game up, you have 30 seconds. You really need to get one play. You need to find one transition, one pass. That's all that they need. They need to bide their time. They need to wait out for as long as they can. And then you just need to find that perfect opportunity.
See them almost getting it there. Unfortunately, Zupi just a bit high on that one, not able to get under the crossbars. Now, 10 seconds, the last chance likely here. Zupi out to Lettuce, to the net, saved by Plays U. Still bouncing up, Tommy with a chance. This one bouncing towards the net, forced wide. Will this touch? Kept up. Lettuce watches the flyer. That actually will go off the wall. Still a live ball. Finally, will touch. Team Ascend escape with the victory in game 1.
Yeah, and a few spots there where it really felt like No Sympathy had a shot at trying to tie it up, but just the accuracy and the placement, not where they probably would have wanted it. And of course, that's going to happen. After you play defense for 2 minutes straight, it's really hard to just get back in the mindset of, oh yeah, we're going to score now. But I still think, for No Sympathy, a really good showing. They found some really nice goal, or they found a really nice goal. They found some really nice openings as well. They were looking for the passes. They were trying to make those plays, and it just kind of started to break down towards the end there as Team Ascend just got themselves on the offensive end and kind of just sat there. They just constantly were challenged at the midfield, stopping the clears, and it made it hard for No Sympathy. Even when they, broke out, they just didn't have enough time to really work with.
If we look at the stats here, 8-5 on the shots in favor of Ascend. So Ascend definitely coming out as the aggressor. Saves even at 4 apiece. It really was. Both teams, had their chances. We saw some longer, offensive pushes from Ascend. But really, even though it at times really felt like so uncomfortable, it was still just that 1-goal game, as we saw, just so close in, needing that massive save just to avoid overtime. No Sympathy really showing a lot, and that's still just game 1. They have plenty they can build off of, trying to go into game 2, trying to turn the series back around, trying to tie it up.
Yeah, and you want to see them play like they did to open out the game. You come out with energy, you come out with aggression, and you just, you try and just find those goals. You find those small mistakes. You really, even a team like Team Ascend, you can force out those mistakes. If you apply pressure, if you find some good touches into their half and you're constantly getting in their way, those mistakes will come out. And that's really how you want to play if you're No Sympathy. But Team Ascend, they managed to close out that game. And as I said, they did a very good job of it. They got the lead. They had a lot of time to kill, and they managed to do just that. And so heading into game 2, we're probably not going to see as many of those double commits and team bumps as we did in game 1. I imagine that those are hopefully going to be completely cut out of their play, as almost shot there, but player couldn't get to it.
Plays U up for this one, trying to drop this one down in. Tommy with the save, but there for the follow-up is Miracle. And striking first is Team Ascend.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that defensive position. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to feel about it because I like the player being on the backboard, but I don't like Tommy and Net being both backwards and also still trying to go up for the ball. He just didn't get a good touch. Made it really awkward for his teammate on the backboard to get the save, but just like that, it's going to be tied right back up. And again, all it takes is a few good touches and your opponents will just make a mistake eventually. Team Ascent there. Not the best touch on the defense. Zupi finds the shot.
And leaving that open, 2 players going into that corner with their last player nowhere near being back yet. And allows Zupi to just have that open shot, and he will not miss it. And a chance now for a second goal, and Lettuce puts No Sympathy on top.
Yeah, the kickoff's just working out for No Sympathy. Miracle does not have the read off the backboard, and Lettuce gets a little bit lucky there. It's against the backboard, but then manages to also dunk it through his own touch and put it in. No Sympathy up 2-0, 4 minutes left, or 2-1, sorry, with 4 minutes left. And what was looking like it might be a bit of a scary game 2 for them they just managed to completely turn around with some really good plays off of that kickoff.
Now Tommy, trying to buy time, plays you, take it to the net and in to tie it right back up.
Okay. Back to back, great plays here. I mean, we see the double tap and then plays you. Gets the double tap off the ceiling, continues it forward, and Lettuce. If you're on the backboard, you're not expecting that touch. He's nowhere in position for it. There's no way a save is coming through, and as you said, tied right back up almost immediately.
Doopy, just gonna send this one in softly. Tommy pushing this across, trying to get it just away from his opponents, give Les a chance to do something. We'll see Les getting demo, but does get the pass over. Zoopy is gonna send something that trying to beat Miracle, will not, but leaves the potential follow-up. Tommy will go high. If the rebound there, no. Flyer does a good job of keeping it away and continues just preventing any shot. This one will go into the blue half. Zoopy catching it, trying to start something off, looking to pass across his team. It's not there. Miracle will shoot it wide. It's Tommy just gonna go for a long clear, trying to chase this one down. Zip will go past him, take a bit of a touch off of Zoopy. Les will just clear this one in on towards the net, just high. Follow-up chance will not be on target. Now Tommy with the shot, easily handled by Miracle. Zoopy, can you get around to this one? No, plays you will play it out. Met the midfield by Les. Now Flyer trying to flick this one over. Tommy able to get back to it. And now Les just gonna push this one off to the side. Flyer going up high, cannot get through Zoopy. Uses all his boost though to get to that ball. And now plays you with the shot saved by Lettuce. Tommy will not be able to get this one now. Les. Round one, but not around another. Plays you to the backboard, looking for Flyer, dropping it down, saved by Tommy. Fall from Miracle is just high.
Yeah, Miracle can't place it in, and eventually the clear comes through from Zoopy. No boost, but he will manage to get this one out. Forces a touch out of plays you, and it's all the way back down into the orange half. And, you know, in the back and forth there, both teams trading some shots. Team Ascend, of course, getting the better end of it. Had a bit more offense, had a few more opportunities. They still couldn't find the goal, though. The defense holds strong, and now we're starting to see No Sympathy once again. Even though it's tied up, they're pushing forward. They're looking for those mistakes. Flyer, not the best 50. There's a demo in net, and that is open for Tommy to place it through.
That demo play, you see it earlier, Les just going in, recognizing that there's just that one defender left, recognizing that his teammates will have the shot, and making sure that shot is as easy as possible with that clutch demo to give his team the lead.
And again, it doesn't matter if you have the flashiest mechanics. You don't need to hit incredible shots to be effective. You need to work with your team, and that's exactly what Lettuce does there. Finds the demo, clears it out, and it just a great team play from No Sympathy. Again, another demo. Flyer, not the best touch, but the punish isn't there as the touch goes high. And with a minute and 10 seconds left in this game, looking like No Sympathy are in a really solid spot. They just need to pretty much hold on to this lead. That's 2 misses, though, off the backboard. The shot is off. Luckily for them, because that was almost catastrophic.
Holds indeed, but just the accuracy not there on the part of Team Ascend. We'll try again, pass over the Miracle, but that one will go just high. Drop down by Playsuit, easily handled by Zoopy. And a long clear will come out. Miracle. This one will drop down, potentially a chance for Les. Cannot get through Miracle. Tommy looking to pass this one across. Flyer's there, but now Zoopy sending it into the corner, bouncing out. Is anyone up on this? No. No Sympathy is backing off towards defense. Final 30 seconds. Miracle. Zoopy watching his plays you, will place one out. Tommy able to send it into the orange half, but caught nicely by Miracle. Past one. But Zoopy is there. Now plays you will try. Demo though by Zoopy. It's now the final few seconds. Tommy. Chance for plays you. To the backboard. Follow-up chance for Miracle. Will go in with 1 second left, and looks like we will have overtime.
I mean, yeah, just no challenge. Lettuce and Zoopy, they both turn off, and then Lettuce has no boost for that follow-up. Zoopy is somewhere in the net. He's off in Canada, Ontario maybe, just nowhere near where he needs to be with his teammate covering the far angle. He can go for the close post. It will hit. We have overtime, and I think, you know, No Sympathy kind of just a pretty major mistake there towards the end, and they throw away that 1-goal lead. It was, of course, a great shot, but when you have 2 players in net, that really should be covered, and now there's even a chance that they might lose this game.
Les cannot get under. Please use this one on net. Tommy is able to get around to it. Now Tommy over towards Soupy off the wall, able to send this one in deep. But Plays You is there. He will get past Les. Tommy, only one back. Will get there, but will get blocked by Miracle. No one there yet. Everyone rushing back towards this ball. Flyer going for the shot that will go off the backward. Follow-up chance will be forced wide from Plays You. Now Miracle harassed by Zoopy, who doesn't have any boost though. As Tommy is going to send this one in, but Plays You to the backboard. Zoopy clears it away. Now Les with a chance to clear out, but the attack from the second, keeping at it. Plays You now trying to get this one in! What a goal to end it. And now match point for Team Ascend.
And again, you just kind of saw it. No one challenging Plays You on the dribble. He had all the time in the world, could make the play that he wanted to, gets it up onto his roof. Just a quick little double jump to place it over every single defender. And yeah, that's all it takes. Team Ascend, they take advantage of the mistakes there. You know, you needed to have a player challenging that ball. You need to have someone trying to get a touch, and No Sympathy. The communication breaks down towards the end, and they don't have that. And Team Ascend take advantage, get the goals, 4-3 in a game that they probably should have lost, kind of steal it away. And now they're on match point, and you have to worry for No Sympathy because that was your chance to be 1-1, to tie it up, to have a really solid game. And now you're down 0-2.
And they wind up getting a shot. No Sympathy putting up 9 shots, a very impressive total. But we're seeing 13 on the part of Team Ascend. The saves, 5 saves, an impressive amount for No Sympathy. 8 for Team Ascend, which... Still wondering how that numbers add up there. 9 shots, 8 saves, but 3 goals?
Yeah. Huh. I guess some of them didn't get registered as shots. Who knows?
We're seeing, though, a very even attack, though, on part of No Sympathy. Every player with a goal, every player with 3 shots, but just not enough to come out on top. They had that chance there, they just weren't able to hold on, and now they need to win this game to have a chance in this series.
Yeah, I mean, this is it for them. They have to bring out all the stops. They have to try and play the best Rocket League that they've played so far, as I believe is the server down for anyone else, or is that just me?
It seems just be you, because it is fine here for me.
All right, well, take it away as I reload, because I had a blank screen. There was absolutely nobody in the lobby, so that was interesting.
Psionics will do stuff like that, I guess, sometimes. Loopy will send this one in. Miracle cannot get to it, and that will just fall into net. 10 seconds in, 1-0, No Sympathy.
Yeah, I mean, just No Sympathy. Again, they're starting off really strong on these plays. They're managing to get them off the kickoff. They're managing to make Team Ascend uncomfortable right off the bat. And it's really good for them because these early leads are such a nice comfort to have. The only issue for them has been they haven't been able to hold on to it. It's just like every game they've gotten the lead. They've had that early goal, and then it's just slowed down. Team Ascend have managed to play at their pace, and they eventually find their way back into these games.
One course off to the side. Plays You will keep it in. Off the backboard, looking for a follow-up from Miracle, but that will not be on target. Miracle again trying to get on target. Looking over the pliers. Zoopy with the massive save, and Les will clear it out. Now Tommy cannot get through Miracle. Pushes one center for Plier, but a miss there. And now just an open net for Tommy, and he will just push that in.
All right, No Sympathy. Managed to get themselves 2-0 as... I'm sorry, looking at that play again, it's kind of funny. Just watching every single Team Ascend player just miss the ball. But yeah, 3 players miss. That goal should be scored by all means, and it is. So a good job there by Tommy. Puts it through, and Team Ascend looking a bit shakier here in Game 3 than I think you might expect, especially after, you know, kind of stealing away that Game 2. You know, I feel like you would expect these teams to come out with a bit more confidence and aggression in their play, but they got caught off right off the bat on the back foot, and then that just straight up mistake there means that they're in a 2-goal deficit.
I believe this actually might be the first 2-goal deficit either team has faced in this whole series so far. Now, Miracle cannot get that one through the defense. Tommy, this one forced off a flyer. Chance, no one able to get to this one. Zupi being harassed by Flyer, still able to get a shot off, but Miracle is there at midfield. Tommy is going to push this one away. Lace nicely meeting plays you there. Miracle trying to chase this one down. Instead, Zupi sending this one in deep. Miracle with the long clear out towards the net. Lace able to pop it away. Miracle. Follow-up chance high from plays you. Miracle keeping this one in front of the net, but just no one able to push it in. Now Plier will try forcing out to the side. Tommy will push it away. Plays you. Going for the shot here. Not able to find it. And Tommy able to get it to the back wall. Now a chance for Zupi. That will go well wide. Plays you will send this one in to Plier towards the net. Saved by Zupi. Lettuce. Miracle just gonna push it back, but right towards Lettuce actually was ahead of that ball.
And as this game starts to, has slowed down quite a bit, we've seen both these teams take a fairly passive approach. Of course, Team Ascend have been trying to push up more. They've been trying to find these shots, but it hasn't really worked out as Miracle will save that one away. But No Sympathy, again, just playing a very solid game here. They have a 2-goal lead, and this is what I wanted to see from them in game 2. You have this 2-goal lead. You don't let your opponent control the pace. You don't let them decide when they're going to move up, when they're going to find the challenges. You go forward and you make it happen, although that's a huge mistake. Not a good 50, and the third man pushed up too far. Miracle gets the free shot on net.
Just not a great touch there by Zupi. In position to try to prevent that pass, just winds up continuing it into a faster pass, rather than pushing that up high where it needed to go.
And, he kind of, I think he felt bad for the triple miss earlier from Team Ascend, and he was like, hey, here, I'll help you guys out, just give you a little bit of a little boost here. This should be an open net, but a nice demo on the back line. Tommy in a bad position, but another miss. Flyer doesn't find the shot. A very messy situation. And on the other side, Tommy can't place it through. Zupi for the follow. We'll get it through. For a second, I thought plays you might find the save, but a scrappy situation and No Sympathy come out on top.
Tommy just so close there still. Luckily did have his teammate in, but does a great job getting around the defense, and just that net left wide open on the follow-up. I mean, was not the easiest shot for Zupi, but he didn't really have to put anything on it because there was no way anyone was going to make a save.
Yeah. Again, Team Ascend there, they did need to commit up. They needed to try and push for that goal to tie up this game, but it just might have been a bit too aggressive. They had, everyone pushed up, and as soon as it gets saved, as soon as they don't find that goal, as soon as Plier doesn't get the shot in, that's a situation where everyone needs to retreat. Everyone needs to get back because it's going to be No Sympathy on the counter, and they do exactly what they need to do. They push it high, they force out a challenge, they just place it around the defense, and they manage to get themselves a goal. And with 30 seconds left, it looks like Team Ascend not able to get themselves sorted out, not able to get the rotation in order, and this should be headed to a game 4 unless there is some last-second magic.
We'll see Zupi pushing this one off his own backboard. Miracle trying to keep it alive, but Tommy pushing it away and in deep, and that likely will help to do it. Zupi just continuing to try by side, a bit maybe too much power on that one though. Final 10 seconds. Lace cross forward teammate. Tommy will push it away. Plays you towards Miracle. Towards the net, but time will touch 0. The ball will touch the ground, and No Sympathy take game 3 and stay alive.
Yeah, and just a much better showing there. I don't think there's too much to say about it. Just a very solid game from them. Zupi, obviously, with the standout performance there, gets himself the Savior medal. Also has the 2 goals at the start to really open it up for No Sympathy. And as I said, that's what we wanted to see in game 2. That was the game 2 that we wanted from them, where you get that early lead, you find those goals, and you get that lead, you sit on it, but you always look for opportunities to extend it further, to find even more, and they do exactly that. And yeah, Team Ascend, just towards the end there, they were getting desperate and they couldn't get anything in order. So hopefully for them, they can, reset as they head into game 4, because of course they're still on match point. They still have another shot here, but no sympathy. I mean, if they continue playing like that, they might be able to make a case here for reverse sweep.
For sure. I mean, they really figured out the answer to what Team Ascend was doing, it seems, and Team Ascend really just breaking down a bit in that game. The shot total, Team Ascend had taken in both of her 2 games, even at 6 apiece. So it really does seem like Team Ascend is just trying to do the same things. They are just trying to just win on skill at times now, and it's the communication breakdowns. We're seeing these mistakes, we're seeing these missed shots, and No Sympathy has figured out how to punish Ascend for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Server does appear to potentially be down, or
I think it just went down for our streamer. I think our streamer,
our streamer,
ignited.
But the game is going on without him. It's hopefully he will get back quickly.
Radio cast time, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live.
As we wait for him to get back, still no scoring. A chance for Plier, forced high, chance for Miracle. Soft touch, Les will get a long clear, but actually met there at midfield. Heading towards the blue net. Tommy with the save, but not enough, and I wish you could have seen that one.
Well, you'll see the replay, because Miracle gets a great touch on the backboard. Tommy has the right idea for the save, but he needs to place that high. If his plays you is up for that, and he manages to dunk it through. Team Ascend, this is the start they wanted, especially after that game 1 or that game 3, where they did kind of just fizzle out towards the end. You want to get that momentum to start off.
Now they could get this one rolls, but no one able to get a touch. And Tommy was clear of the way, and just another massive missed opportunity for Team Ascend to really just put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Bouncing out, could it get in? No. So heading towards the net, Zuby having to come for the save. Flyer off the wall into the corner. Les will play out towards midfield. Plays you, beat to it by Zupi, but Miracle coming up with the save. Can Les get the shot in? He can!
Lettuce finding the goal, tying us up, and all comes off that great touch there from Zupi. Really gets it by 1, and again, the third man cheating up there is something that both teams have been caught doing, where they push up a bit too far, a bit too aggressive, and it's come to bite them. Lettuce finds the goal off of it. And now with 3 minutes, 50 seconds left, game number 4, tied up 1-1. Team Ascend, they're still hunting to end this. I don't think they want to go to a game 5. You don't want to ever give up that much momentum to your opponents. But No Sympathy right now, looking incredibly solid, making all the right plays, and they're individually outplaying every single player on Team Ascend. Zupi drops it down, finds the shot, No Sympathy up 2-1.
That they're trying to take the plays out of their opponent's play. We're seeing them now just trying to wear down the defense, force them out of position, and working with each other to get these, just making sure they get it. And some of these attempts have just been off of just wide open nets or just one defender challenging in net, because they've been able to force the defense into those situations.
Yeah, and that's all. That is what the difference is between a lot of these teams. Is, do you create opportunities for yourself? And there's, as I've said this many times, there's a variety of ways to do that. You can just individually outplay your opponents. You can make that solo play. You can find the opening, just create it by yourself. You can go for a passing play. Those are such easy ways to get around the defense, to get it to your teammate, and to create those options. There's demos, there's the transitions that you can play. There's so many different ways to create an opportunity without having to wait on the defense making a mistake. And right now, No Sympathy, they're just finding individually better touches. Team Ascend is looking shaky. They're not getting as good hits as they probably want to.
See, still a 1-goal game as we approach the halfway mark. Flyer trying to get that long shot, nicely met by Les. Zupi watches now. Miracle gets it around him, looking for the shot that will go high. Follow up not able to come, as Zupi does a good job on the backboard. Now Les harassing plays you. Flyer just gonna push that one against the wall. Miracle, last man back. Tommy should have an open path to the net, and he will score and push it to a 2-goal lead.
And again, no sympathy. Just, I'm not sure how. They're just getting better touches, and it's not even like they're making, like, of course they're making the right plays here, but they're just hitting the ball where they need to, and it is causing Team Ascend to fall apart. They double commit on that first touch, and then Tommy just follows up. The third man commits up for no reason. And Team Ascend right now, looking like they are just really out of it because no sympathy are just, I mean, they're just running away with it. 3-1, of course, it's not a huge goal difference, and it's very possible to come back from it, but right now they're not getting any of these touches. That's going to be another shot with the save from Miracle. He might be able to get around to it. Has to be one more. Will try and force it through, but Zupi has the momentum to get back to it, and that's a situation where Miracle just needs to take his time.
Zupi, we've seen them come up with a lot of these clutch saves, and another one there, really there, but see a miss from Les, this one still bouncing towards the net. Tommy able to get away into the corner. Still a chance, but it's you though, a bit too hard off that back wall. Flyer not able to get the shot there.
Flyer gonna try and take this one off the sidewall, and it's still not a lot getting done for Team Ascend. They're definitely looking for the right touches here to force it into the middle, to force it around the defense. This could be the shot though. Flyer drops it in, but Zupi finds the save, and with a minute left, 3-1 lead still standing. Ah!
Finally, but Zupi is just a brick wall right now. Fortunately, eventually you can find your way through that. It's Miracle just taking it out when Zupi just could not get back for a third touch. And now a one-goal game.
Zupi just, I mean, absolutely killing on the defense. That ball should have gone in at least thrice before it eventually did, but finally the shot finds its way through. Team Ascend, they still have a shot here to tie up this game, and this is a very similar situation to game number 2, where it feels like right now no sympathy by all rights should win this game. But there is a possibility that for a 0-second, a clutch goal to come out for that overtime, and right now Team Ascend looking to get on the offense. They do force out the double commit, but they don't have a lot of time to work with.
See, Placey looking for Flyer, not able to connect quite as well on that one. In fact, forced inside. Now Tommy trying to transition this one out. It will get challenged into the net by Zupi, and that will make things a whole lot tougher for Ascend.
It might even make it impossible, as just a miss from Playsview doesn't get the right touch. The pinch goes straight into the net. Every single possible unfortunate situation there does not go the way of Team Ascend, and while they might have had a shot before, it's now 10 seconds left. You needed a kickoff goal to try and have a shot in this game, and that shot doesn't find its way in. That's going to be game number 4. We're going to game 5. Going the full distance, no sympathy. Hey, pulling it out when they need to, and Zupi, what a performance out of him in these past 2 games.
I mean, he has just really come. He had been solid earlier on, but he has really just become that playmaker for them, getting 2 goals, getting 4 saves in that game. As we look at shot totals, 9 shots, 4 teams saying getting that numbers back up, 13 for no sympathy, and it really is. But even taking that start, we're still seeing, you know, a fairly balanced attack from no sympathy. Every player scoring a goal, every player getting 3 shots, 2 of those with 5 shots. I mean, it's been even every player as well getting an assist. It's been, Zupi, yes, has made these standout plays, but it hasn't been him alone. It's been a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for no sympathy, that's what I said, is even though, you know, their individual touches, it's not anything spectacular. You know, they're not Justin with these mechanics, you know, with their shots. Of course, Zupi is starting to pop off just a little bit, you know, starting to make some really, really nice plays, but they're just playing better as a team. They're not double committed. They're not making those simple mistakes. They're beating Team Ascend to really simple touches, and that is all that it takes. And now they're in a situation where suddenly, hey, we won 1 more. We have a reverse sweep.
And anything can happen, and we saw that in week 1. We saw in the matchup between Assassination and 6 Speed. Speed taking those first 2, but not able to get that third, losing the series. Now Team Ascend looking to avoid that same fate. They took the first 2 games. They stole game 2 completely. but no sympathy fought back, and now just one game to determine who will take this series win.
And for both teams, you want to see them calm down here. You want to see them take their time, because Team Ascend have looked a lot better when they are, you know, I would say even a bit more passive with the rotation, where they're not forcing touches through, because that's when you start to see the double commits. That's when you see the mistakes come out from them. So you most definitely don't, you want to see them slow down. You want to see them take their time with their touches for sure, and really focus on the rotation, because that's been where most of the issues end up striking.
Now plays you, sends one in towards the net. Tommy able to push it away. But Miracle keeping attack going. Les harassed in net. This could be an opening for Miracle. Can he force it in? No! Trying to go, getting several taps on the crossbar, but nothing under it.
Yeah, attempted the back pass there, but actually didn't end up continuing through with it, as now plays U's gonna have a shot, pinches it wide. Miracle not there in time, but gets 2 defenders out. Still the third man. I do like that, you know, Team Ascend here is being a bit more cautious with their approaches. They're not committing the third man up as far as they did before. And so even though they might not get that shot on net, they might not get that opportunity, it's cutting down the chance that they just end up missing that and it's transitioned down and put into their own net.
Speaking of transition to offense, is that one just barely missing the net. Now another chance, Soupy with the save. Still could be a dangerous fall. Tommy able to force it to the side wall. But plays you there to force it towards the back. Zuby pushing it away. Flyer forcing Les up on this one. Now Miracle towards the net. Tommy is up, will get the save, or at least get credit for the save as he forces it wide. But still, Miracle once again keeping this attack going for Ascend, keeping this ball in the blue half. Tommy now having to make a touch. This one going off the backboard. Zuby with a bit of a miss, but Tommy catches it well. Still forced again by placing towards the net. Can't get in. Zuby with the save. Flyer cannot get this as Les will finally clear it out. And Les, can he get this one in? No!
No shot ends up falling, and still we're going to stay tied up 0-0. Half this game left to go. Both teams playing good on the defensive end. There's been shots galore. There's been plenty of opportunities, no sympathy. That was really their first good one. That was their first shot registered on net, and it was saved away. Meanwhile, Team Ascend have had a majority of control, and as I said, they're playing this out a bit more consciously. They're really focusing on the rotation, which is absolutely what they need to do. Flyer manages to save that one away, and now Lettuce get this touch as this time ticks down as we approach, the final 2 minutes. It's really going to start... for these teams, it's really going to start approaching that golden goal situation where it might just take one, and that one is what Miracle finds.
Difficult angle to see Tommy trying to now, unfortunately, bounce it right down into the corner. Lettuce just caught facing the wrong way, staring at that wall instead of at the ball. Or maybe at the ball through it. I don't know. Either way. Allowing in, but now Tommy trying to get something going quick as an answer. This one dangerous ball if anyone's there, but no one is. Plays you, looking for Flyer. Said Zuby with a long clear. Can Miracle get this one? He can. Zuby centering for Tommy to the net! And we are tied.
Yeah, Miracle does get a good touch to the side here, but just no follow-up for the defense. There's no one there. Miracle was upside down in net for some reason. And it just requires Tommy to force it through to that bottom corner, tied up 1-1, 1 minute and 41 seconds left. These teams decided, no, we don't want to risk it coming down to just one goal. We don't want to be in that situation. We want to give ourselves a shot. And right now with 1 minute and 30 left, it is really either of these teams' game.
Sees Flyer. Can he get this one under the crossbar? No, he cannot get under the on the post. And now Tommy, one to beat. But Flyer does get back. Les popping this one up high. Miracle should be able to push this out. So now Flyer and Vortex plays you in the same place. Allows the defense to take it away. Tommy just softly towards the net, handled by Miracle. Lettuce trying to follow this one up. It will drop down towards the net and in.
2-1. Minute and 4 seconds left. The dream of the reverse sweep might just be alive off of possibly one of the luckiest 50-50s I've ever seen. No sympathy. Again, they're just getting better touches.
And I think that's just it. It just seems like they've managed to get figure out what Sen wants to do and get the better touch. But now Sen trying to tie this back up towards the net. Les will get the save. Follow-up chance. Can Plier get to this one? No, it just rolls around into the corner. Plays you. Looking to pass it out. Still in the center. Miracle Key pushes one in. Les just one boost, able to get the save and able to get to the boost pad. Still a chance. Soupy forces it away. Final 25 seconds now. This one dropping down. Plier kept away by Tommy. And now, Sen will have to go back towards this one around midfield. A bump will potentially allow Zupi to get in their touch, continuing. Just burn this clock away. Miracle, though. Long clear out. Final 10. Lettuce getting a matching clear towards the back wall. But will run out of boost. Plier trying to get something on Zupi with a shot. Will this touchdown having to keep it alive? Tommy pushing it down, and the reverse sweep is complete.
I don't even know what to say. No sympathy. It just took 150-50. That's all it required for this game to go in their way. And of course, for Team Ascend, obviously they're not going to be too happy with that because they had the 2-0 lead. They were ahead. It felt like they had the win in the bag, but no sympathy. Just make the plays.
And even then, they Ascend able to get back ahead in the shot total, 10-7. But just the shots you see, the accuracy as the series went on, just it seemed to fall out of form and just never get back where it needed to be. We saw just too many shots around the net, but not on.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, for Team Ascend, the quality of their touches was not the best, and I think that just continued to show. It was absolutely a situation of no sympathy, continue just to get better quality touches. And that's all it really took for them to just find some goals and find the win in the end. So, I mean, absolutely props to them for playing out a great series. They got the reverse sweep. They stayed in it even after that game too. And yeah.
I mean, definitely a great series. We still have more action as Titan U will be back on, joined by Fallen for our next match over here in the Merc tier. As our reigning champs, Reckless Storm, will be taking on EV Galaxy. But until then, that will be it for me for a bit. But just make sure to stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and be back shortly with our next match.
We've been running from the light, chasing our shadows as we go. Now there is nowhere left to hide, nowhere on this planet to call home. We are lost in this world of stone, driven to the edge of the unknown. But the fire in our souls, it'll burn bright to the end of days. We are not afraid to fight. We are not afraid to make a stand. We'll make a We are lost in this world of stone, driven to the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the seasonal shootout. We have our next match on the way. It's our former champions, Reckless Storm, taking on EV Galaxy. I'm Titan on Fire, joined by the wonderful Fallen. How are you doing on this wonderful Saturday evening?
Oh, I couldn't be better. How you doing, Mr. Titan?
Good. Got to see a nice little reverse sweep there towards the end of our last series, and I'm definitely excited for this one here. Hopefully, it doesn't go too long because I do realize that I have prior arrangements, but we'll see. Let's just get it right on the way because I think these players want to play. Of course, Reckless Storm did end up winning. I believe it was tier 2 were they in, or tier 1? Tier 2 last season, right?
Yes, they were the grand finals winners of Tier 2 of Season 5, and now they are back here in Season 6, looking strong, just as they were, if not stronger. So I'm excited to see just what they're capable of for the remainder of the season. A lot of new talent, more new teams, definitely. So it's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah, of course, the team being that of Orbits, Psycho, and Viper, facing off against Confucius Slay and Sharkbot. And yeah, I haven't seen too much from EV Galaxy. Of course, this is one of the harder Week 2 matches, getting up against the former champions for seasonal shootouts. So we'll have to see how they do. As starting off a nice little triple commit from Reckless Storm doesn't result in too much, just a team pinch, we'll say, all planned. As an awkward bout on the back there, no one challenges the ball, and EV Galaxy just finds an easy goal.
Yeah, that was a very interesting cluster right there. I'm not sure what was going through, what the comm situation was like there for Reckless Storm, but just to note for anybody's sake who doesn't quite recognize EV Galaxy, they were at one point Timeless Energy back in Season 5. And they've decided since then to branch out and do their own thing. So to give a little bit of clarity there.
Yeah, it's just 30 seconds into the game, Confucius finds that first goal. No one really taking head on that challenge, and it just left an open net. Of course, not the kind of mistake you want to see, but we saw that from a few teams here who did end up losing game 1 or winning game 2 eventually. In like the last series, what I was going to mention, we did see a lot of mistakes come out from both teams, but they eventually, got their nerves under control, and they managed to bring out a very good 5-game series.
Absolutely. I mean, that first series, it looked like it was going to be Team Ascend all the way, but No Sympathy just turned their game around and brought it right back for that nice reverse sweep. And as we're talking about that, Orbits comes in and just drops one right into the net off of a clean shot to tie this series up with 3:45 left to go.
Yeah, just a nice little goal there to find its way in. And you know, as we do get into this game, of course, game ones are usually a bit more passive, a bit more you know, back and forth. We see these teams chill out. They kind of take their time with it and play and wait to see where the mistakes come out. And I think for both these teams, you know, we saw that early mistake from Reckless Storm, but since then, you know, it's been pretty much clean for both sides, and that one goal finding its way in for the orange team is obviously a good sign from them. You know, they're not going to continue to make those mistakes. They're obviously still playing just as good as they were last season, and that was a bit of a fluke as Viper finds one hell of a dunk, but Psychopath was not expecting that and wasn't turned around in time.
Yeah, that was an impressive dunk to say the least. If Psycho had been able to just recover from what he was doing there in the corner, that could have been an easy goal number 2 for them. And as I say that, you get a very nice pass from Viper coming off out of the air there for Psycho right over mid, who just drills it into the upper 90. You couldn't ask for a better pass and shot right there.
Yeah, just a great play, and those passing plays are exactly what we do want to see out of this team. Looking for each other, making the plays happen, and as Orbits once again in the air with the air dribble gets it over 2, but the 50 eventually doesn't go their way. But we're starting to see Reckless Storm here warm up. They found 2 goals in a row now, and with half the game left to go, there's still plenty of time for this to go either way, but they've certainly started to take the upper hand because they've kept EV Galaxy to that one shot that ended up going in. Since that, it has been all Reckless Storm on the attack.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I mean, Reckless Storm was a colossal powerhouse last season. They changed their roster just a little bit, and it doesn't seem to have slowed them down in any way, shape, or form, as Psycho just gets a brilliant little touch there in the air, which unfortunately causes an own goal. But, you know, those things happen, and right now Reckless Storm is going to take a nice 2-goal lead with 2 minutes left, and, okay, I'm just done. I'm not talking. Your turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's exactly happened here to EV Galaxy, but they're not making the challenges, and Reckless Storm is certainly waking up, finding the hits they need to, finding the amazing redirect there from Orbits as well. Just absolutely incredible play from them, and as I said, it was one shot from EV Galaxy that found its way in, and that's been it. That is all that has been allowed from them. They have not gotten any more shots, and it has been Reckless Storm with 4 consecutive goals.
Yeah, they're putting on a clinic right now, and you know the funny thing is I couldn't even finish my point on goal number 3 for them without Orbits just drilling in the 4th goal on a beautiful redirect pass play, but they're definitely putting on a clinic right now, and they're showing everyone why they were Season 5's grand champions for Tier 2, and why there should be no reason why they can't do it again this season.
Yeah, this 3-goal lead should be good enough for them to just sit on for the rest of this game, really. They should be able to just sit here and really chill out. Play some good defense, play some solid midfield, Rocket League, and you don't need to score anymore. Just don't let any goals in, and you'll be able to head into the next game with a ton of confidence and with a ton of momentum as well, because right now, EV Galaxy, they have 1 shot. They've been playing defense for the other 4.5 minutes of this game.
That's the perfect strategy. I mean, you run up the goals, and then you put on enough pressure to where the other team cannot do anything but play, you know, life-saving defense, because that's pretty much what it is for them. It's life-saving defense. You know, any clear they get immediately gets contested and brought right back to their side of the field. At this point, with 30 seconds left, all they can do is just try to avoid getting another shot put into their net. And if they're lucky, maybe get it downfield and try to put a sympathy goal in, or get a moral support goal in to try to get a little bit of momentum going into game 2.
Yeah, it would certainly be nice here, but as it's looking, Reckless Storm just not giving any space, not giving any time for that to happen. And honestly, I feel like even just holding this game at a 4-1 lead is such a is such a bigger even momentum boost than even like a 7-1 or an 8-1 where you just keep scoring, because obviously at that point the other team, they've given up. They're looking at the next game. But here, EV Galaxy, they were trying to get something going the entire time, and they were just shut down at every single point.
Absolutely. I mean, and you could tell Reckless Storm wasn't even really trying to put any more shots on net. They knew they had game one in the bag. They literally were just running down the clock. Time management to avoid, avoid making the game even longer than it could have potentially been, and making sure that EV Galaxy had no shot of putting anything even close to on net. You had, 10 shots for Reckless Storm, 4 of them being goals, to the one and only shot from EV Galaxy resulting in 1 goal. But they played defense the entire time. They had 5 saves. I mean, you can't win on defense alone. You know that as well as I.
Yeah.
So EV Galaxy is definitely going to have to pull something together to get out of the defensive mode and into some form of an offensive push. Otherwise, Reckless Storm's just going to walk away with the series.
Yeah, no, it really feels like that. If Reckless Storm get a good start to this game too, if they find the first goal, I mean, or even if they just find an answer to the first goal, if they just get off to a good start, it is definitely seems like they might just, as you said, run away with it. It will just be them all the way. Game 3, will be just something to close it out. So for EV Galaxy, you definitely have to hope that they can get something started here. They can get something going. But it's all up to them, because from that game 1, we saw 1 shot and 1 goal, and that was it. That was all we got to see. They played defense with us at the time, and I mean, they did a decent job of that, but they still got scored on 4 times.
Oh, absolutely. And they got to stop panicking so much when they're on defense. That's what's giving away their net, is all that panic. They scramble to the ball to try to get it clear. They scramble in front of the net to try to block a shot, just like that right there. They double committed on that shot attempt right there and left nobody at the back post to try to make any kind of attempt. Correction, it wasn't a double commit. It was a double by Reckless Storm. But nobody was there to rotate to back post when the third man had to push out, and it resulted in a goal. It's just too much panic.
Yeah, and it was a good job by Reckless Storm to find that one in Viper, getting the first goal. And this is absolutely the start they wanted. You find the first goal, you say, all right, yeah, we're still going. We kept that game. We slowed it down on our own terms. We slowed down the pace, and now we come out and we get the first goal in game 2. And it just feels like they're continuing to just run away with this. It's only 1 goal, and there's still 4 minutes left, so there's plenty that we can still see from, EV Galaxy. But it's just already, it's starting to feel like they're just panicking at every turn.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. They got, Viper got the perfect demo there on Confused just to leave the net wide open, and then you had Schley and Sharkbot just right on top of each other. Nobody pushing towards the net, nobody pushing to back post, and it leaves them wide open. Right now their defense is struggling even harder than it was in the first game, and they need to pull it back. And as I say that, Orbits puts it past all of them to try to drop in another goal.
Yeah.
It's a EV Galaxy's on the struggle bus right now, and they've got to find a way to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's something needs to happen. They need to get something going. They need to just find any sort of a play right now, because it is really brutal. I'll put it that way. This is exceedingly it's just getting worse and worse, because it's a 3-goal lead. It was a 3-goal lead in the last game, but that was that was after 2.5 minutes. Or there was still like 2 minutes left, and that's when Reckless Storm were like, okay, we're gonna stop scoring. It's at that point. There's still 3 minutes left to go, and there have been no shots for EV Galaxy. They don't even have a goal.
No, absolutely. And I know it may seem like I'm picking on EV Galaxy, but that's just not the case. I'm trying to hopefully help them understand where they're going wrong right now. As Psychopath drills in a beautiful shot off the pass by Orbits there. But I'm just trying to help them understand where they're going wrong, why and why Reckless Storm is just drilling them right now. But, you know, they've got to come out of this. They've got to get off this struggle train right now. Otherwise, Reckless Storm's going to run all over them.
Yeah, 4-0 lead is just absolutely 5-0. This is, I don't even know what to say at this point, because Reckless Storm is just proving that it's not just team plays. It's not just that. They can also individually make things happen. And yeah, I mean, it's just EV Galaxy, they haven't been able to get their rotation back. They haven't really, it doesn't feel like the communication is there. And I'm just, it's really hard to say what they need to fix, because right now it's kind of everything.
Yeah, I mean, one of their biggest issues, like especially with this play, their rotations. Schley has to come back. It rotates around. Sharkbot gets tangled up on the side post, and Schley has to come around and try to get in a position to where he can make a play, but it just leaves the net wide open, and it's not looking good for EV Galaxy. They are just getting absolutely railed right now, and I don't know what they can do to fix this. They need to bear down. They need to lock it in, calm more, or something to come out of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is just brutal at this point. There's still half the game left to go. That's the real kicker right now, is that there's still so much time left. And Schley won't be able to find that goal, but this might be a chance. It's turned away by Psychopath, and as soon as there's an opportunity.
If Reckless Storm continues on the scoring spree that they are in this game, this could be a new record of goals scored against one's individual team in seasonal shootout. Because I don't even know if we've ever had a 7-goal differential in a single game in seasonal shootout so far.
Well,
I just found out that an 8-goal difference was the record, which was now tied by Reckless Storm. They must have been hearing my stats person in the background, but the fact still remains is that EV Galaxy is really under the knife right now. They've got to come back somehow. I don't know how, but they got to figure it out.
I mean, yeah, they need something, and that something is certainly not getting scored on again. 1 minute, 51 seconds left this game. It's a 9-goal lead. This game's over. Honestly, if somehow EV Galaxy managed to start hitting the ball before Reckless Storm, maybe they can make Game 3 close. But as it is, they're getting beaten to every single touch. Reckless Storm is obviously performing incredibly well right now. They're feeling confident. They're just absolutely dominating every single challenge they go for.
And they're showing every other team in that tier, that they will not go down without a war. And the fact is that it's going to take a miracle for anybody to stop them at this rate.
Yeah. It's a 10-goal lead.
I don't know what else I can say to try to help them. I doubt any of them are listening to the stream. If they are, hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming from when I say the things that I have been saying, that of the mistakes you're making, but you gotta fix it, or this is just going to continue to be a very, very one-sided affair.
Yeah, and it just all starts with individual touches, with communication, with the simple things. That's just where you gotta start.
This is like one of them divorces where, the wife gets 100% of everything and you get absolutely jack squat of anything. you get that one piece of clothing that you bought some years ago, and she takes everything else. That's pretty much what this series is looking like right now, and my hope is EV Galaxy can pull something out in Game 3, but if they continue playing the way they are, there's no shot.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is they've stopped the scoring for maybe, it's been about a minute, and they've managed to not get scored on anymore. Ooh, almost jinxed them there, but it's a 10-goal difference. It's like, this is the largest goal differential that I've ever seen in a match that should probably, with teams that should be at least decently close in skill level.
Yeah, and it's just, the one thing about Reckless Storm is I've played, at one point or another, I've played with these guys before. I know that they're cracked when they're on their game, but I did not expect them to put on a clinic like this. They definitely own a record in seasonal shootout for the biggest goal differential in a single game, without a doubt.
Yeah. Just it is very much just over. I don't even know if there's anything more to say about it. Maybe game 3 could bring something surprising. Maybe we could see something new.
What would you like to see from EV Galaxy in game 3? I mean, what can they do to try to come back from this?
I mean, just all the simple stuff, like all of it. The rotation is not as tight as you would want it to be. They're getting beaten to just, simple touches here. And of course, that's okay if you're the first man challenging, but not if you're the second, not if you're the third. You need to be on top of that. But even if you fix that up, you still have you still have Reckless Storm, who's playing absolutely incredibly.
Yeah, as we get set for game 3 here, honestly, at this point, EV Galaxy needs to stop hesitating so much. They're giving Reckless Storm way too much time with the ball. They need to correct their rotations because they're just everywhere right now, and they need to get rid of the panic. If they can stop panicking on the ball and fix their rotations and stop giving Reckless Storm so much time, then they might be able to pull something off here in game 3. But like right there, they gave way too much time for them to try to set up a shot. They need to close that gap quickly in order to stop this powerhouse.
Yeah, it's going to be a long road here. And this game 3 is certainly... It's going to be something. As the first goal is already going to find its way in. Again, just no one challenges the ball. The upfield pass is there. The Sharkbot has the right idea on the challenge, but, I mean, you can aim it. He just kind of drove at it. You need to aim the touch.
All I ask Reckless Storm for everyone's sake is not another 10-0 lead. Just make it painless, if that's what you're gonna do. EV Galaxy, please get a comeback going. Make this game interesting. Show them that you have what it takes to put them down.
Gotta hope, because right now it has been... it has been 14 unanswered goals, to put it into perspective, in the last 9 minutes of Rocket League. Make that 15 now, with this game, of course.
What was this?
It was 4-1 in game 1, 10-0 in game 2.
Gotcha.
And, now Reckless Storm is, of course, being a bit cheeky here. They're not, necessarily getting the best touches so far, but they have a 1-goal lead, and honestly, that feels like enough because they have complete control of the pitch, a great backwards touch, and yeah, Psychopath is just gonna roll that one on in 2-0 already.
Yeah. They're stunning on them. They're stunting on them. EV Galaxy needs to they need to stop giving them so much time with the ball, because that's all it is. They're giving them minutes upon minutes with that ball and not doing anything to shut them down. They're giving them too much respect. Stop.
Yeah, it's... I mean, 2-goal lead, it's possible for a comeback here, but again, you need to see better touches out of EV Galaxy. You need to see a bit more consistency on the clears, on the challenges, on the touches in general. Just need to be better, because as it is, Reckless Storm is, looking like one of the best teams in the league, and you are just not being able to really perform as you would like to, and Reckless Storm is obviously having a very good night. Make that 3 goals to the top corner. Even with 3 people in net, they still can't find the save.
Ultimately, I feel bad for EV Galaxy for just how difficult this series is for them, but on that same token, they should have known right from the get-go that they were going to be going up against the powerhouse that is Reckless Storm and had a game plan coming into it. If they had one, it went out the door first in game one for sure, within the first couple minutes probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, it felt like they started off and they're like, oh, hey, we got the first goal. Cool. You know, we can work with this. And then they all answer back and they're like, okay, you know what, it's tied up. And then the second one went in. They're like, all right, you know, we can still work with this. And then the third one went in. And
The fourth one.
And the fourth one, and like, you know, it's a 3-goal lead. That's possible. But then they just watched as 2 minutes just drained out of that clock. And they were unable to get anything done.
Yeah, time slowed down to almost for them, and next thing you know, they blink and the rest of the game is gone. And then game two, God only knows what happened in game two.
Yeah, I mean, the lucky thing for them is this game is looking a lot better. They're getting quite a few good defensive touches, and they're being able to break out of their half, which is always welcome. You know, you always like being able to get out of your own half and, you know, actually do something. But they're still not able to find any goals. They're not being able to find any shots, and it's a 3-goal lead, which is, you know, enough in most games to win you.
It's definitely a start. Having they're putting on pressure and they're getting out of their own half. It's definitely a start. Now the big thing is they've got to put something into the net. You know, they got 1:25 left. They're down 3. They need to drain a shot, at least within the next 20 seconds to have a chance. Tie this back up against Reckless Storm's defense.
Yeah, as we approach the final minute, there needs to be a goal now. Viper almost dunked play there. The clear should come through. And yeah, it needs to happen. You need to find a goal here, and it needs to be immediately. Confucius gets red on the pre-jump, and Schley is already pushed up, so he can't recover to that. 50 seconds left. This is, I believe, this is going to be it. I don't see a way for EV Galaxy. They haven't scored in the last, let's see, in the last 13 minutes. I don't see them scoring now as that goal almost finds its way in. They're all turned around. It's 30 seconds left, and yeah, this has just been a bit of a stomping.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, EV Galaxy needs to score basically 1 goal every 5 seconds from here out to tie it up before game's over. But with the way Storm is just running the field right now, I don't foresee that being a possibility. As the last 10 seconds count down, it's looking like it's going to be a monstrous 3-0 sweep here. Reckless Storm victory over EV Galaxy. Tough defeat for EV Galaxy, especially after game 2, but I mean, it happens. You know, when you're not on the field with your full starting roster, it definitely, you know, it can be a thing. But
yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and obviously Reckless Storm looking as good as ever. But yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about that. We had all the time in the world to say it during the actual match. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we do have another match. We're going to have one more match coming up for you tonight, as we only have 3. We were going to have 4, but I believe there was a bit of scheduling conflicts with the 2 teams that were going to play third. So we're moving one of the matches up. We're going to have our third match and last match of the night. It is going to be, let me check what it's actually going to be. So it is going to be Cerberus versus Reckless Void facing off in a best of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. This is Seasonal Shootout.
Take care, guys.
Are you scared? You know, I am you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Seasonal Shootout Match 3. I'm your co-host, Opposite Boy, and joining me today is the excellent Mr. Epic. How you doing, my man?
I am doing great. What an introduction that was. You are so hyped for this. I am so hyped for this. The entire Twitch following must be hyped for this match because it is going to be a banger here with our final match of the day.
Oh, absolutely. We've got Cerberus and Reckless Void going against each other in match. I mean, this third match, I wasn't expecting to do this early, but man, I do not care for it. I care for the good stuff that they are bringing and the absolute domination or the even fight. I do not care, but I am ready for it. So, let's talk teams. So,
All right.
Last time we saw Reckless Void, they went up against Frost Prospect and didn't do so hot. They weren't able to bring the heat and got iced over.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Cerberus at all. So I'd love some little insight on them.
Yeah, this is really like a match that's really going to show us what these teams are made of because Cerberus hasn't really played yet because they have 2 wins. They're 2-0 in the standings, but both of those wins are off of forfeits because we had a little of rearranging in tier 2.
Mhm.
And so Cerberus was awarded 2 forfeits. So they're sitting at the top, but we don't really know if that's warranted just yet. They are playing Reckless Void. If they beat Reckless Void, who did lose to Frost Prospect, that's a good start on the season. And it shows us a little bit about this Cerberus team, but there's still a lot to be learned.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. With the mystery team like that, I mean, we don't know who's going to be like landing all of these shots. We have no idea if they're going to be just nailing the ball from goal line to goal line or making incredible saves. Like they could be like octane tier pros for all we know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we know a little bit more about Reckless Void. Yeah, they're not pros. don't think that, but they could be. We don't know that yet.
I mean, it'd be certainly interesting to like. It'd be a certain interesting question of what they're doing in this tier, but like,
hopefully, for the sake of the integrity of the league, they are not pros. But I know what you mean. Is they could be anything right now. Like with Reckless Void, we know a lot more about because they did play with us last season. Cerberus did not. Reckless Void actually finished second in our tier 2 last season. So that's basically equivalent. Tier 3 this season was tier 2 last season. So second place overall is a solid finish for Reckless Void. But starting out with that loss, it's not a good start for them, but they can turn it around really easily right here.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen teams be able to bring something back. They just may have been on the wrong footing, especially with this game. This game, almost all the time, is just like depending on what your mood is, how you feel, how much you kind of overworked yourself, and see, like, because so many factors go into this, especially this game. It's like, it's so fast and so like fine-tuned. Your brain has to be in optimal position in order to really see what's going on, communicate effectively enough, and be able to work our way through. I mean, last week, we saw Reckless Void kind of missing a lot of opportunities. They made some shots. None of them were really clean. Frost Prospect were able to like very effectively just take control of the ball, get it back on the Void side of the field, and just make a fast and clean shot through goal and get the net open. I really, like, I'll be honest, like maybe that they kind of took that loss and went, all right, so now we know what to work on. And maybe they changed something.
Another thing that could be is that first game of the season on stream, the stream nerves. Maybe this time around, we're definitely going to see some stream nerves, but maybe it'll be a lot more toned down for the side of Reckless Void. And I think we're just about ready to get into this thing. The players are taking the pitch. So, Opposite, are you still hyped for this match?
Oh, I am. You better believe it. And you, ladies and gentlemen, and that Technicolor rainbow in between, it looks as if we are going into match 3. Reckless Void versus Cerberus. And here we go. Kickoff's already going to be going off in the side of Reckless Void. They're immediately taking it up, passing it off the wall, but not completely clean. They're going to leave it out a little bit. Epic going for it in the kickoff, showing a little bit of like prospect here for Reckless Void as they're going for it. They try to take it back. It's not a whole lot of defensive play, but Cerberus already showing their prowess, going to Aqua off the backboard, and Reverend is able to bring it back with a double tap.
Yeah, we entered this match with a lot of hype, and I think Cerberus came into the match with that same level of hype because they went fast out of the gates. They took it off the kickoff. They had possession for almost the entirety of that 25 seconds before the opening goal finally fell, and they looked solid right there. They were going fast. They had a couple whiffs, but that I think that was a result of the speed they came out of the gates with.
And by the way, the miscommunication on whose side was on who was my bad. I just whiffed that myself. So, yeah, again, I like we saw last match, already showing like Cerberus being able to keep the ball on Void's side of the field, not being able to make any solid clears. They're not looking too hot here. Aqua going up, and it's going to hit the crossbar, but Reverend, again, trying to clean up the mess here. Leaf goes for it with an aerial shot, just dunking it right into the goal line.
Yeah, that was basically a repeat of the first sequence where Cerberus had all of the pressure off of kickoff. They were going fast, getting crazy touches, and Reckless Void just couldn't break out of their own half. They couldn't get that solid touch or a booming clear that sent it back onto the blue half. I saw Leaf got a couple double taps off the wall that threw off the defenders, and that was just enough to keep possession for Cerberus and keep Reckless Void on the back foot.
Speaking of whom, they're going to start playing the defensive side as Rev is going to be trying to get it over, and Aqua's able to get a demo, but Epic goes for a shot and Leaf saves it at the last second. Now Cerberus leading it it's going to be hard for them. They go for the shot here. It's up in the air. Bender, being the goalie here, but goes for a clear, is out of the goal line, and it's open net here. It's open season. Cerberus going for the push, up in the air now. Leaf goes for a shot, but is going to be contested by Wolf, as now the booming clear is finally able to get it back on blue side.
Here we go. Bender finally, okay. just like that. Reckless Void is on the board. They're still down a goal, but that is a good start here. Bender just beat a defender off of a pass of the sidewall and stuck it in there. Great work by Reckless Void, proving they don't need super long extended periods of time on the opposition half to score goals.
Yeah, and as the kickoff goes to the Reckless Void, it's going to be quickly turned around back in Cerberus' favor with the net that's a little more open than I'd like, but they're able to get the clear, and he goes for another shot. Oh, but Reverend is going with the save, so Epic saves it, gets it off, tries to get it off the backboard and get it ready for center, but it's not going to happen. So Cerberus taking the lead here is gonna be playing back on the defensive. This back and forth play is more than I remember with Frost Prospect.
Yeah, a Reckless Void finally turning it on offense, and Wolf had a shot there, but was denied by the post. That was a seriously close opportunity for the amount of energy that Reckless Void started this off with. They were on the defense for so long. It looked like Cerberus was just going to beat them down over and over again. They have broken out of their half, and they are showing us that they are in this match. They are by no means going to get shut out by Cerberus. And as I say that, ref puts another one in. Well, what happened here, opposite?
I honestly, they were able to get a good, clean setup with a bunch of people either going for a commit or just like, there was a lot of just like frantic plays coming in from Reckless Void. Not a whole lot of solid defensive teamwork there.
Yeah, a little bit of panicking on the goal line there, and that is definitely going to get punished by this solid, offensively minded Cerberus team. They will capitalize on mistakes, and Reckless Void's got to be more careful on defense if they want to avoid more goals conceded.
Oh my gosh, is Leaf gonna make... Oh my god,
no.
Is this a trick? They had a shot to go from goal line to goal line, and Leaf just hitting the crossbar barely, as Cerberus' own goal is gonna be open. Bender goes for the shot, and unfortunately, Cerberus isn't able to make it in time. That is back and forth at its max. God,
What just happened?
my heart
pinch.
can't take this.
A pinch
We're
from
not
the
even-
blue goal line, off of the orange crossbar, then a follow-up shot off the orange crossbar, then another follow-up shot missed, and then Bender just takes it all the way back down the line and beats the entire Cerberus team to the blue net, and now Reckless Void's only down one again.
They're getting really close. They hit it off the wall for center, but Wolf goes for it, but it's being blocked by Rev. So Bender cleaning it up, tries to set it off the backboard, but Cerberus is going to get the clear that they need. Not a booming, but something solid. It goes off, and Leaf goes for a shot. Useless, just nailing in that 2-point lead as we get just under a minute 15 here.
That was a great set-piece play by Cerberus there. The 1-2-3. Rev off the back wall, sent it to Leaf. Leaf put it back center, and Useless Aqua put it home. Two goals the lead for Cerberus once more.
This positioning from Cerberus and their aggressive just offense is kind of really scary.
Yeah.
And it's really surprising to see like Void take this and just kind of go, you know what? All right. Okay. Well, what about this? And they just bring their own offensive play that's like out of nowhere. Bender getting the last hit here to get it onto Cerberus' side, passes it up to center. No one's going to be there for it, so Leaf is going to try and get a clear on it. Reckless Void not done yet. They're going to be setting it up for mid, late pass. No one's there for it, so maybe they're going to keep going with this. Their boost is getting kind of low as we get down to the last 30 seconds. Cerberus going for it. Is Leaf going to... All Leaf's too far off to get it near it. So looks like Cerberus is just playing for time now, trying to keep the ball away from their side of the field.
Definitely. And as the clock ticks down, this is a tough lead to overcome. Reckless Void's going to have to score right here, right now. In the final 10, it's not looking like that's going to happen, but they showed a lot of promise in this game one. They didn't end up getting it because of a tough start going down 2-0 early. They battled back, but didn't end up getting the win here. But they are by no means out of this. They can take it to Cerberus on the offensive end Reckless Void, those are no slouches, and this is going to be a good series.
Oh, I'm excited for this set. I gotta tell you, I was hoping Reckless Void was coming back with a vengeance and coming back with some kind of game plan. I was not ready for this kind of level of crazy. Like, oh, I am so much more hype right now. Especially with like Cerberus taking again what Frost Prospect had in spades last time we seen them. Like with this, like with their own aggressive plays with clean shots. Cerberus, you saw the 1-2-3 we saw earlier. They are clean, oiled machine. And Void's they're not there yet, but they're finding the groove and their rhythm. And as any good song goes, a good intro for a good drop takes a while.
Right.
So maybe in map 2.
I can definitely see Reckless Void taking game 2 because when they played stout defense and shut down that high octane Cerberus offense, Reckless had good counterattacks. They were able to bring it down the field with pace and with accuracy. And if they can just be more of a brick wall, I guess, and get the ball out of their half more often, then they are they got this. That's a good game plan for them. Just panic less on defense.
Yeah. And now as we go into map 2, we'll see how this turns out. Will Reckless Void bring it back? Stay tuned. And as we go off into map 2, Reckless Void taking control of the ball. He goes up for center. Might be going for a pass there, but it's a miss. So it's still up. Useless can get it out of the goal line. Epic goes for a bump here, but now the control is in possession of, well, now it's back. Gosh, I don't ever get time to talk. God, and a pass goes off there, and it's just back and forth. Nothing clean is going for either side. It's just never landing for, just nothing going in momentum-wise for either side. It's really close as these two just go at it.
Yep, what we saw in the last half of game number 1, we're seeing here still in game number 2. Both of these teams are going back and forth, trading punches, and there's no telling who's going to open up the scoring because Cerberus, while they're on offense now, that won't last. Reckless Void is going to use this now to set up an offensive play here as well. Okay, Wolf was there to back up Bender. That was a bit of an overcommit there. Now Rev has the counterattack. Can he get it over Epic? Yeah, Rev can. That's the top shelf, and that's a 1-0 lead for Cerberus.
And that was a really good, well-read play by Rev as he quickly was able to turn the momentum. 180 with an open goal line. Reckless Void was just open for the taking, and now just under 4 minutes, we're going to see if Cerberus can kind of keep this lead or if Reckless Void, who's already got it down to the Cerberus goal line, is going to be able to take it. They get it up. Epic's going to go for a goal here. He misses the shot just barely. So Bender's going to be sending the cross, kind of resetting everybody, getting more boost. So it's up in the air. Could be going for a side hit. No one's there to get the kind of the alley-oop situation there. So they're out of boost. Void's going to have to go for a defensive play and not looking too hot. But Cerberus, resetting themselves, gets caught in the moment with an open net with themselves. Rev is there for the last second, goes off the crossbar. Epic going for the shot as it slowly moves its way in. Void's able to just tie this up with with just a misfortunate defensive setup from Cerberus.
Yeah, great play there by Wolf, reading what was going on there, and was able to tackle the defender there and get it off the crossbar. And who scored that? That was Epic. Yeah, Epic. He was able to read the play, beat that defender that was rotating back. And as we see here, oh no, we saw a defensive mishap on that goal by Reckless Void, but this is an even bigger defensive mishap. There's a whiff there, and then the defenders weren't ready for that miss, and yeah.
He just contested really late. It was unfortunate, and I gotta say, like, I as a goalie, I've been there. It hurts, and Wolf already going to be leading the charge for Void. Goes for a setup, but it's going to be turned around. Leaf is leading the charge and sends a shot for Reverend to clean up, and it's going to be a save from Wolf at the last second as Leaf gets his bearings again, repositions, gets it back on the side of Void. He sets it up for Leaf. They might be going for a center shot here. Oh, and Void's going to be able to take it back. So now they're going for defensive line, and Cerberus kind of repositioned and refilled on boost. they might be just kind of keeping Void on this side of the field to keep it out of keep anyone out of the goal line. They send it across. It's going for Leaf. Reverend sets it up, but Epic's going to take it back, and the push is going back onto Cerberus' side of the field.
Yeah, Reckless Void's got to be careful in this game because they are being really aggressive on the offensive half. They are sending that third man forward whenever they get the opportunity to. And a big booming clear, like we've seen a couple times from Cerberus, could punish them. Reckless Void hasn't been punished with a goal quite yet, but the booming clear gets past the third man way too often for my liking.
And just like that, the game gets turned around. Cerberus setting themselves up. Aqua missing a crossbar shot. Could have been a pass, but now as it's being taken back by Cerberus from an attempt to a defensive clear, Epic gets another one, but Aqua reads it, sends it up for Reverend to tap it. It's a whiff, so he might be going for a slower shot here, but no one's there to take control over it as everyone's repositioning. So now, with Void taking control, they boom it onto the other side. They try to get it, so now it's up to Void to try and make this again, trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, and there was a chance there. Yusako did really well defensively to not panic. He had two Reckless Void players bearing down his neck, trying to get that open net, but he did well, and now we see an opportunity here. That third man, all right, the third man didn't commit to that, which I think is a good decision.
No!
Out of nowhere, Yusako just dribbled it into the orange net.
Did he just juke everybody on Void? Did that happen, or was everybody dead?
Well,
he died.
Helped.
Everyone was dead. Everyone was dead. No wonder he could have gotten away with that.
Yeah, Wolf got juked as the third man there, and then I think he was Epic who was rotating back, just got demoed by Rev. A great heads-up play there by Cerberus. But yeah, a bit of juking, bit of demoing in there. Shot almost went in. Bender's going to try and read it. But still, Reckless Void's not out of this. They've still got a solid chance. They just need to score quickly.
They need to be more clean and concise on these attack plays. As we've been seeing constantly, Void has the potential to do something, but they haven't been able to make a solid offensive play and catch Cerberus off their game. There was one moment, and under 30 seconds, they need to make this happen now. Otherwise, this momentum isn't going anywhere for anyone but Cerberus. As we see Epic leading the charge on it, it's going to be contested by Rev as he controls the ball very smoothly. He's going to try and get it over everybody. He's going to get owned by Epic as Leaf brings in the last 10 seconds, buying for time.
Okay. Now, a good save there by Aqua. I think that shot was off, and that's going to waste just enough time for Cerberus to take game 2 here. And whatever goal is scored after this is, there's going to be no goal scored. So nothing to take into the next game for Reckless Void. But Cerberus, they are still looking solid. And you made a really interesting point. Reckless Void is not able to set something up on offense. They are good on counterattacks. That's what scored them their one goal in this game. They did well on they tackled the defender and got it in the orange half. But yeah, you're right. They can't set up a solid offensive play, maintaining that pressure and then finishing. They're getting the pressure. They just can't finish. And Cerberus is quite the opposite. They can finish, as we saw 3 times in this game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you see these different kinds of shots that Cerberus has been making. It's like I said earlier, their communication is making them a extremely well-oiled machine. They adapt almost to anything Void throws at them. And I said this the last time that I watched Void play, and I was hoping they would fix it. They make a lot of readable plays. They make these pushes and these counterattacks like you've been talking about have improved.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing in the way of just cleaning up these misfires. They've whiffed on a couple of shots, overshooting, double committing on these goals, and just not being able to have a solid base to come back to.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. There have been a lot of whiffs and just a couple of miscues on the side of Reckless Void, and they need to shore that up. Cerberus, that's not really happening for them. When it does happen, they cover it up real quickly, make sure nobody notices it happened. And then they pull out some crazy offensive play, a crazy team pass or a demo in net. They have the offensive firepower to make up for their mistakes, and Reckless Void is not showing us quite yet that they have the same.
Yeah, And as we go into game 3 here, we see Reckless Void trying to take the attack, but again, read by Rev. They're going to try and go for it. Wolf going in for a force push, I guess, almost. And it's going to be cleaned up by Bender as he clears it back, but it's like almost a pass to Aqua as he takes control. It's going to be sent into goal line, but Leaf's there just in time to save it. As now Reckless Void is going to try and regroup, maybe reposition and get some more boosts, as some of them are running out of it. This is the opportunity for Cerberus to take back the offense.
Right, Reckless Void firing again, but we saw a second ago that there was a little bit of awkwardness in the blue corner, and that kind of stifled any offensive pressure that Reckless Void had. And it came off of a whiff, and like the teammates had to step up and make up for it, which they did. They did well to do that and make sure nothing bad happened, but it kind of messed up their offensive pressure, and now we haven't seen them back on that offensive half since then.
Yeah, as we see them on the defensive now, Void is desperately trying to make some semblance of a play happen, but Cerberus has got their number and is just using them as a way. He makes a shot into goal, and Rev is going to take the first goal of the game, going in just under 3 minutes, like just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, great shot there by Rev. He took what he was given and he made the most of it. Bar down and in. Cerberus taking the advantage here early, and Reckless Void, again, I've been saying it all series, but they are not out of it. They can pull offense out of nowhere. They just have to have the consistency and the composure to make it happen.
Yeah, and so the consistency here is just like Rev is reading the ball, getting it just past, and Wolf is able to use that opportunity to absolutely annihilate, coming in from the left side of the field. Just straight. Oh, he came from the right. Whatever. He makes a goal. He did a good.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
That was great capitalization off of a mistake by Cerberus. Yusosako went up for a ball that it's tough to read this. He didn't have enough boost. He would have had it if he had the right boost mount totals, but there's a chance there. But Reckless Void was there to capitalize. Good positioning, good awareness, and we've got an equalized game because of it.
Yeah, and so now as Void is starting to see some small cracks in the game, the play of Cerberus, they're going to start kind of moving the ball around, trying to get it out of their own side and get it out of the hands of Cerberus. Epic leading the charge for the push now, past to Bender as he goes for some kind of corner hit. He's going to take down Aqua, and Leaf and Aqua are now stuck in the defensive line, who are going to be pushing it back. Bender going back for it, sends a push up to try and get it off the wall. Epic, for a small moment, almost had it, but is regrouping on the side here. They're getting it really close, and now Cerberus is just taking it back for an open net. He might get it up off the side for Aqua, but I think it was just to put Void into a frenzy, and now it's back on the side of Cerberus.
Yeah, Leaf made a gorgeous touch to get around a defender there. Wasn't able to get the open net, which is unfortunate, but that's Rocket League for you here. As now we see Reckless Void back on the attack. Leaf gonna clear it out of there before anything bad happens, and it's back and forth right now. There's no telling who's gonna open up the scoring here once more. That was close.
That was way too close for my liking, or yours. And it might be, is Bender gonna get it off the wall? It passes it to Epic, it's going to be a whiff on it, and Wolf just gets annihilated by Aqua, who's going to be leading the charge here, devastating Escobar. And now it's back and forth, like you just said earlier, nothing clean coming out of these pushes.
Yeah, but this is exciting Rocket League. I have no clue what's going to happen. Both these teams having about the same amount of offensive pressure, and both doing great defensive work. It's chaotic. Chaotic Rocket League is fun Rocket League.
Yes, absolutely. Chaos.
Are the epitome of chaos right now.
I love me some chaos. I like playing chaotic good in D&D, but that's irrelevant as we see a chaotic good pinch coming in and almost in for Reckless Void. Just under a minute. It would have been the break they needed. So Epic trying to lead the push here, trying to get it off and set up for the rest of his teammates. He bounces it off to get a pitch for Epic there, and nothing is able to come up with it as Rev is very, very attuned to it. And now we're getting close to 30 seconds. Bender setting it up for Epic. No one's there to take it. So it's now for Cerberus to lead the push.
Yep, and then just like that, again, Reckless Void back on the blue half. Yusuf with a great save there. Epic now going to try and center it for Bender. Bender overran it. And now it's going to be Cerberus on the counterattack. Still that back and forth. It's been back and forth for the last 3 minutes here. I hope we have an overtime here because that overtime could last forever.
Wolf goes for a shot. We get down to 10 seconds here. This is going to be going to overtime unless Rev gets it past him. Escobar going to be pinching it off, delaying the time. This could be the goal. Escobar goes for it, is over it, and we get down to the last seconds. Reverend keeping it up, but now we see it overtime. Game 3, Cerberus in the lead. Can Void bring it back? Don't you dare move as the kickoff is going to be going to Void. The pressure is on for Cerberus to keep this out of the control. And now they take it back. This is going to be good.
Yeah, this is the kind of game where as a neutral spectator, I am reminded of why I love Rocket League so much. As we see the ball now above the blue net. Epic puts it down, and the putback is blocked. And now it's going to be Wolf on the back line. Leaf, well, Epic shuts that down before Cerberus gets any kind of offensive pressure. And now...
It's back to Cerberus! Cerberus makes a shot, and it was almost there! Epic almost made a clean save, but unfortunately, he was just a second late. His car in the wrong position. And game 3, a full sweep goes to Cerberus.
I did not want that series to end. That series did not deserve a sweep. And I'm not saying Cerberus didn't deserve a sweep. They played lights out, but Reckless Void also played lights out. And to have this as go down in a 3-0 is disappointing because they played solid. And for both these teams, they looked good. And I can't wait to see them again. They're going to be top teams in this league.
Absolutely. You saw a lot of what Cerberus was putting down. Their clean setups, executions, and just adaptability was able to keep them, keeps Void at bay. Void in this last game were able to make some, clean up a little bit of their touches, maybe try and connect more of their passes down center field. There were a couple times had moments, small moments, where they could easily take back a goal, but they just went too far. They went too wide. They got too close to the game. They got bumped in the wrong way. Rev kept leading. Leaf kept doing a crap ton of saves. Aqua doing a majority-wise of the saves here. I'm extremely excited to see how these two teams come back. I got to reiterate what you said. These are some top-tier teams, and I am so excited to see where they come up in the rest of our next shootout series.
Yep. I think I could have watched that series go 17 games. That was how exciting it was.
Absolutely.
Cerberus, I think what it all came down to is Cerberus just had a slight mechanical advantage, and that gave them those couple extra goals that they turned into a series lead. And Reckless Void, they had a couple of whiffs. They can shore those up easily. That's probably stream nerves going up against a team that's plays a bit faster than they are. That's just what happens when you go up a team that just plays lights out fast. And they can shore up the mistakes, and I have nothing else to say. That series was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. And kind of going out here, last things I want to say, if you haven't dropped a follow, please do. We appreciate it, and we want to bring you some of the best action. Be sure to get here tomorrow for, I think it's 2:30? Am I wrong? Am I looking at the times right? Either way. 2 p.m. Eastern time, we will bring you the Octane series. And, I got nothing else to say. I'm Opposite Boy.
I'm Mr. Bepic.
And we will see y'all next time.